All right, good morning, gentlemen. Today is September 12th, 2019, of course. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to OneMoreTradingology.com trading room session.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dave.
How's everybody doing? Mike, Alexander.
Good morning, Alex. Or good afternoon for you.
Yeah.
He's over in Europe. Let's see if Eric makes it or not. He's going to be busy, but he did send me the information. I sent you one little quick snip. I think you might have saw it, Dave, but we can definitely talk about that. It's pretty interesting what Eric has found here.
Yeah, I did not. I had a little computer malfunction this morning and I had to restart everything. I will take a look at it now.
Yeah, it's just one of those quick screenshot I sent you, but
okay.
Get this guy dialed in. Oh, this one has got something else on it. I was playing around. That's what I was doing. All right. We'll let the guys roll in. Good morning, Andre.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Are we going to get into that?
Yeah, I think we'll give him a few minutes. I know he was a little busy. Well, we were trading emails this morning, so we'll see if he can make it, or if he doesn't make it within the first 10 minutes or so, we'll steal his thunder, and he said I could share it for him.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sham, you are funny. Good morning.
Yeah, only my mother can call me that.
Yeah, so it plays well. I didn't put it on this chart, so we're not going to give it away. But a nice little short setup this morning was
Morning, Greg.
a little borderline as the TSA had at 55-45 percentages. But watching, we never did get past. And when we see Eric's strategy, we'll see how it kind of tied in nicely there. But yeah, nice little short right at the morning, almost a 0.25% move in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a nice one, and it hit right at 9:30 too. We had we had the downtrend on the 1 minute leading up to the open. Got that little bump just before the open, and then boom, straight down.
And right down to almost touching here on the 5 minute and the 1 minute. So it's always when you're getting close to your exit points if you haven't made your target goal, and then whether you're watching the 1 or the 5, when that gets past halfway, you're definitely getting out. Hard rules there, hard rules for exits to capture your profit.
Yep. Yeah, that the spread is hanging right around that on the spreadsheet. It's hanging around that lower level.
Oh, that 3-4.
Yeah, that 3-4 level. It's I'm not sure what to make of this. I'm not sure if we're just going into some sort of basing pattern before we go higher.
Oh, and Eric has made it on. Good morning, sir. We were just talking briefly about your strategy, but I have not exposed it yet, so I will leave it up to you if you want to join the chat and talk about it, or if you just want us to talk and you type about it. Your choice.
Morning, Eric.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
We got you loud and clear, Eric.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't bring my headset and mic, so if I fade or break up, just let me know.
No, you're good. Yeah, this is awesome, Eric. We really appreciate it. I think it's going to help everybody in their trading. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm not a professional trader. I've been trading since the early 90s. I first started when I first got assigned on the fire department. I was a rookie. I showed up to my first firehouse for my first shift. And guys were showing me around and telling me what they expect of me. And I had this one senior guy, he probably was close to 60 years old, probably going to be retiring soon. He pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey, kid, we got this little club in the firehouse. And, we throw a little money in, we pick a stock, and, hopefully we'll make some money out of it. And I want you to join the group." So I was like, what am I going to say no to this guy? So I joined the group, and, basically what it was they'd look at the journal, they'd look at Barron's, and just, I guess, basically throw a dart at the page and try to pick something. So that's what got me started in trading. And it was a lot different back then. There weren't computers. Nobody had a computer. Everything was over the phone. I remember making my first trade. I think I bought shares of Oracle. And I remember it costing like $30 one way. I'm sure Dave can verify that. So that got me started in trading. And, we had a couple of winners, a couple of losers while I was participating with my colleagues. And then I said, you know what, I could probably do this on my own. So I had opened an account with a firm called Quick and Riley. I don't think they exist anymore. And I started doing research and making trades on my own, strictly just fundamentals. And so I did it for a while, and then I got married and had kids, and I just got too busy to pay attention to so much. So after a couple of years, I just put everything into mutual funds. Once a month, I check it, shift it around a little, and that was it. So fast forward 20 some odd years later, I retired from the fire department, and I wanted to try to find something else to keep me occupied. So, I do a lot of fitness stuff, try to keep in shape. But I said, I kind of want to try that trading again. So I start researching, and, lo and behold, I was shocked at how far advanced everything got with technology and everything else. So I had to really re-educate myself on how the markets work with, high frequency stuff and all this and that. So it took a couple of years of just watching videos and strategies and all this and that. And, that's kind of how I came across Tradingology. And for anyone who's a member of Tradingology, I've tried, either experimented or signed up for over 50 different services, strategies, and so on and so forth. And out of those 50, I can only say there are maybe 2 or 3 that were profitable, and Tradingology was definitely one of them. So that says a lot about the work that Dave has put in, and Dan. And if you follow what they teach you, you are going to be successful. I firmly believe that. And this is proof right here. So, that being said, anybody else have any questions? Dan, you can put my email, or I'll type it in the box here, and you can just forward me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it.
Eric, I can't thank you enough for that.
Absolutely. We appreciate that very much, Eric. That was awesome. Dan and I will certainly get back to you and let you know what our results are. And we're going to pass your criteria, rules-based system on to everybody else, do a little editing if necessary. And I think everybody's going to benefit. We really appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome. And one last thing, I want to congratulate Dave. I saw a little note there that he's now the head honcho of Strong Market.
Yeah, thank you. I'm kind of hoping it's just temporary, but we'll see. I'm semi-retired, so it's like they pulled me and they dragged me back in, and I developed the original market timer system, and so they kind of looked to me when Jace left, and I hopefully it's just temporary. We'll see. We've got a search going on.
All right, Eric, thanks much, man. As always, we're always here for you. Let me know if you need anything.
All right, you're welcome. And
yeah, thanks
have a great
again.
weekend, everybody.
Yep, you too. Thank you very much. Well, that was pretty awesome, guys. I think this is probably one of the more interesting contributions that we've had over the years. Really, really good insights there from Eric.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to throw it on some dailies. I'm going to throw it on a bunch of stuff. So yeah, we'll put that through the ringer, Eric, and then we'll let you know what we find out for everything, guys. All right. What are we doing since then? I haven't even been paying attention.
Yeah, on the markets in general. Well, we had the announcement from the ECB that they lowered interest rates this morning, and Draghi made some statements that were kind of interesting, saying that there was a kind of an urgency to reduce rates now. And so I guess there was quite a bit of discussion at the ECB whether or not they were going to reduce them now or maybe wait a little while. And they're seeing some bad economic numbers, I guess, in the EU.
Interesting.
They lowered them. So I'm fairly well confident that we're going to be doing the same thing. The same thing here. Now, when is the next Fed meeting? I believe it's next Wednesday.
And I think, wasn't it yesterday, just our fearless leader was calling for 0, if not lower, interest rates.
Yes, the president was calling for 0 interest rates.
I like how it said 0 or less. So what's
Or
less?
less, yeah. Well, there's nothing less than 0 except minus. And yeah, this is really a strange scenario. So, I mean, everybody's trying to lower their interest rates. Why? Because what it does is it puts downward pressure on their currencies. When they put downward pressure on their currencies, their exports are more attractive in other countries that have higher interest rates and a higher currency rate. There's something called purchasing power parity, and it was meant to equalize exchange rates between countries with different GDPs, depending on their GDP levels. And that is kind of broken down over the years. So, and so now everybody's trying to devalue their currencies. In order to do that, they need to lower their interest rates because, if you had in the United States, the reason the dollar has gone up so high is because we've had higher interest rates than most every other developed country in the world. And so money flows into those accounts in order to earn that interest. And then when rates get lowered, that money flows out of that country, but it also makes their exports much more attractive at a lower cost. And that's why this whole tariff thing is kind of blown up. The United States realized that, hey, the yuan is being devalued and you've got really low interest rates across Europe and especially Sweden, Denmark, and Switzerland and Germany now. We can't compete on exports if our dollar is very, very high and our interest rates are high. So that's why he's calling for 0 rates. I'm not sure where this is going to lead, though. I don't think we haven't been in a 0 rate environment or a negative rate environment in the United States. Well, we had 0 rates, but we didn't have negative rates. I'm just not very, very enthusiastic.
Right. Hard to get excited about stuff recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least to the upside. Outside of trading, there's lots of things to get excited, but just overall general.
Yeah. So we're still seeing the markets higher, though. I mean, if you take a look at a longer-term chart on the Dow, we're only 1%, I think, within the high.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so, right now the market is acting, enthusiastic and confident about the lowering of rates. But I think that's going to turn sour when we go negative.
27,397 is the high on the futures contracts, and we're not far behind it on the weekly there. May very well break through today, make a new high.
It could.
Only 150 away.
Yep. We've been seeing a lot of bullish indications over the last week or so at Strong Market. Yeah. So that's the trend.
As you guys know, that's not an indication to buy or sell, not financial advisors. Just looking at what's going on here.
Yep. Just looking at the picture. It's like being in a museum. Everybody sees something a little different.
Way above the cloud again right now.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So do we know why the cloud doesn't draw for RTY, or is it something I got broke?
That's interesting.
See if I actually got it on there. Yeah, it's on there.
I use the tick on RTY maybe. Oh, you've got it. Well,
That's the weekly one.
it should draw on it.
I was trying to figure out why the other day, but it's like I don't trade it as much on long term, so I'll just let it sit. But
That's odd. We've got TradingView scripts pretty much ready, and there looks like they're drawing on all the cryptocurrencies and anything else that you want to put on there. That's
Nice.
going to be released early next week, I think.
oh, I did have an email about that too, and yeah, we were definitely looking at stuff after Tuesday session, and yeah, the $15 that we saw for the regular, that gets you certain things. So it'll depend on what we need and what people need. There is additional fees for real feeds if they're needed, but definitely look into that if you're looking to use TradingView for yourself. There is real-time feeds. It's not just $15 for everything. There's different pro levels and there's different other share levels. So I didn't want to lead anyone astray by saying it was $15 for everything, and you get the kitchen sink. They're kind of like other brokers as well, where they do tier up. So they do have certain levels for what you get inside their platform. And
Yeah, I apologize for that. I said that, but I only used it for cryptocurrencies, TradingView, and the currency pairs. So I didn't use it for trading of stock futures or stocks. And I guess they have additional fees for stock and futures data on there. So I apologize for saying it was $15 a month. That's my fault.
I'll try that, Greg, and see what happens. Because I took off the U19s on the weekly charts since it was longer term. Yeah, it looks like that didn't help either. The other part that's driving me nuts is this open interest keeps coming back.
Yeah, I know. I hate that too. You maybe try the Z contract now because we're
Getting close.
yeah, but it's probably not going to make any difference to the cloud showing up though.
What do you mean RTYZ is not valid?
What?
That's just me being funny.
That's why we never developed a Russell 2000 spreadsheet for strong market, because the data feed is very, very odd. It's not, it doesn't close at the same time because it's owned by the London Stock Exchange. It's just an odd set of data.
No problem, Greg. Silly RTY.
Let me see if it shows up on mine. I don't have it normally on a chart. Do you have like, how about your overnight extended sessions and stuff like that? Do you have that on there?
Got it showing both. Yeah. No.
It shows on mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows on mine. That is odd.
I'll think about it offline. We don't need to waste time here on that.
Okay. We'll have
I'm
to
not too worried about the Russell.
do
Just
some
take it off of everything. I only look at 3 anyways.
investigating. Yes.
All right. There was a question here. What was it? Would you please go over the Renko tick and price signal setup trigger? So that I do have also. Let me move this guy and bring this guy over. And Kevin did have a request too on the signals. I had to look and I didn't find so I'll come back to Greg if Kevin's not here, but I know he catches the recordings. So we'll cover that as well. So here we got the tick charts. Should be on 500 still. Yep, we are still counting. We see the remainings. We'll get to current, since I haven't touched it since the open.
Yeah, Mike, have you seen the videos that I did for Strong Market on the tick charts and the price signals and the Renko charts? If you've seen those, you probably have a pretty good idea already, but if you haven't seen those, please take a look at them, because I go into quite a bit of detail. But the trigger is basically if you're over your top of the cloud, yep, just where Dan is pointing there. If you're over the cloud and you've got a down and you see the price signal start to decline, almost like the bell curve when it starts declining there, you want to take a look at a short position. And, you're not going to hit, if you, let's say you do an entry on the assumption that it's going to go below the cloud, you want to be as far above the cloud as possible. You want to look at the price signals to see if they're declining, if those bars are declining. If that's the case, you can take an initial position. The stop would be just above the highest bar in that right there. And then your exit is going to be once it reaches either inside the cloud or just below the cloud, basically at the same level as when the price signal starts to turn up. So you've got that sharp decline in the price signal. That's your indication typically that you want to exit. And if you want to hang in there a little bit longer, you can, but typically that's when we get out. What we'll do is we'll look at the history of the price signal chart. So the level right around there, yep, around 40 or so, that's the high level for the 500 tick chart. On the NQ, every chart is going to be different. And the lower level is going to be about the same. So those price movements and those signals are going to be right around that 30, 40 level. And that's a signal that move is probably over. And then once you're below the cloud, you want to start to look for those upticks in the price signal and do the exact same thing again. Look for that entry and exit just above or inside of the cloud again when the price signal starts to turn lower or peaks. Yes, please do that, Mike. Go to strongmarket.com/blog. You'll see most of the videos that I did there. And I will put that into the chat there. And it's also on the Strong Market channel on YouTube. But the blog is the easiest one to access. You'll see all the tick chart videos that I've done. I think there's 4 up there right now. You'll get a lot of insights from that. You're welcome. Hey guys, I'm going to have to cut out a little bit early today. But hope everybody has a great weekend. Andre has one more question here. So in your daily trading, do you now use these instead of the regular? Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I'm exclusively using the price signals. I also use the swing system. So I'll do the swing system and I'll do the tick charts with the price signals on it as well. And it's just a fantastic system. It's unbelievable. One good announcement is that the TradeStation scripts for the swing trading system for Market Timer are complete. Andrew has completed those. Thank you, Andrew.
Nice.
So whoever purchased that, you'll be able to see them and get the download probably this afternoon. Dave, can that setup be automated with a specific buy-sell signal on the Renko tick chart? That's something that's going to be a little bit tough. We're gonna talk to Andrew to see if he can do that. That's going to be tough because really, it's almost like you have to measure the difference between the top level of the Renko chart and the very top level and the distance between that and the height of the price. The bar's high. And so if there's a consistent, if it's a characteristic that it's like at 2% or 5% above the Renko cloud or something like that, it also has to measure the swing signal. For each chart, it's going to be different based on the volatility of that instrument. So on the NQ, it's going to be a little different than the YM and the ES. So I'm not sure exactly how that can be done because it's pretty much of a judgment call, but we'll work on it. Absolutely. All right, guys, I'm sorry I'm going to have to cut out early. I will talk to you again. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again next Tuesday. I will be, actually, I'm not sure. I'm going to be in DC next Tuesday, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a stream, but I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good, man. You have safe travels, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Take care. Bye.
All right, boys, if there's anything left, I didn't have anything else in the can for today. If you got any questions, we can definitely cover stuff for you. It's up to you, or we can just call it a day and go about our ways. So throw in a question if you got one. Andrew, so on the swing, you're replacing trades on the 4 hour. What was that referring to, Andrew or Andre? On which swing? The swing trading system. So that's where he's using the swing oscillators and the synth volumes. So looking at the 10-minute and the 4-hour chart. Yeah, the 4-hour chart is the higher time frame on those, and then trading off of the 10-minute chart. So it's more, the signals come on the 10-minute, and the 4 hours kind of the barometer for where we are in the swing trading system. Then if you're looking at swing trades alone, yeah, you can trade off of the 4 hour. So 10 minutes for the day trades, 4 hours for the swing trade. So once we get above, then we get a signal down. Or if we're below and we get a signal up, that's where you take the longs. Or if we're above and you get the signal down, that's where you take the shorts on the longer term. So that's why they work for both the day and the swing trade. Yeah, so tick is only for intraday. That's purely a day trade. You're in and you're out, you're scalping. That's what the tick charts are for. So don't use tick charts at all for anything that's a swing trade. That's just way too much noise for a swing trade. This is all for intraday scalping, where we're using the price signals in the Renko tick chart. Or the biggest thing is you can use, we've set up the Renko tick indicator on other charts, but the biggest thing is that this is actually a tick chart when you pull up the time frame. And you have to set this, you have to program it. So you have to go to add a time frame, and you can add a tick chart versus a regular time frame. So that's what's different about that chart. That's the biggest differentiator. So you see, these aren't just 1 minute or anything. These are less than 1 minute candles. It's all based on how many ticks are going and the movement. The swing could absolutely be overnight, yes. So if we go back and look at those guys, whoops, get back there. Yeah, so these are 4 hours. So you get a signal down and we're above the cloud. Now, depending on, I don't remember when this one painted. So maybe that's going to come into play. So yeah, these are, you could be 4, 8, 12. Then if we go up, this could be, 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. So yeah, this could absolutely happen overnight. That's where you want to leverage the micros and use good money management while you're getting used to the system. If the overnight decision based on the 4 hour. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, if you're going to be holding stuff overnight, don't base anything on the 10-minute. You want the longer time frames and maybe even the daily or the weeklies that you're looking at. So that's where those came out with the nice weekly charts. I think these will work even better for the long terms, where we got we were down below the cloud, then this signal came, then the next week opened. So we had this confirmed signal, so that's a nice signal for an up, and that's 3 weeks long. Mike asks, are you using stops at all for the ticker swing system? Yes, absolutely, you can. So if you're getting in and you're trading on the ladder and you get in like you're above and you get a down signal, like here's a potential, hey, we're above, they're actually starting to move down now. So yeah, you'd enter your trade and you can throw in your stop right above it. So if it does happen to whipsaw on you and you don't see it, you get out. But you see how this one's nicely moving down. Very nicely moving down, actually. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. So there'd be a good exit. We're below the cloud now. Coming back down, you want to get out and capture your profits before it comes back up. So that's how fast these tick charts move. You saw that, guys. That was 10 seconds and it's going. That thing's actually moving way down. Looks like the market's dropping right now. So that was a good 50 points there on the YM. So yeah, Mike, if at the end of the day, if you're using stops, yeah, you can absolutely do that. Throw in your trade, throw in your stop on the ladder, and then you can start, moving it down as it moves down. And once it pierces you, maybe you break it right there and you're out. So yeah, you can absolutely throw in stops for that. It's the vol arb that we don't use any stops. So where even use the 10-minute on a swing if we had the tick charts? Well, the tick charts are for intraday, remember, Andre? So the 10 minutes, so it all depends on, not everybody wants to do this. You're gonna be fast on this. You saw how fast that moved. You gotta be watching the screen. So the 10-minute comes into play where you're more, hey, this is a slower trade. So it's not the fast moving scalping day trade that the tick charts do. Drastically different between a 10-minute time frame chart. You got it. Much slower than a tick chart. You look at that. Here's the 10-minute chart. Put that next to that's the SPX. So we'll just do compare that to the ES down here. Yeah, we're making one bar. These ticks inside this one bar. As I hold the mouse over, you see this is all within that 1 minute bar there, where it dropped big and then it's coming back up, it's coming back down. So all these movements are within right here. Yeah, at the end of the day, Greg, the key is use the one that fits your style and don't try and use everything because you will get information overload. We just get people that ask, hey, how do I trade like this? Can I apply it to this? So there's multiple different members that are doing different trading styles. Just like we had the request for VXX, that's where and if we can use the tick chart. So we build out things that people are requesting and how it's going to work. Then we test it out, then we present it to you guys. So yeah, it's not a matter of, hey, here's everything, put it all to use. Find the right tool that works for your trading style, and then just use it over and over, rinse and repeat. Yes, we do come up with new things. That's just based on new requests. So that's how that works. We're not saying, hey, we came out with something new. You need to throw away everything else you're doing, and this is what we're doing now. It's just, here's another potential use case and another tool that you can use. Yeah, it's been a nice week for the vol arb, hasn't it? And then a little intraday, so can't complain. The only time I complain, and don't take this the wrong way, is when I got to do these because I'm out of the markets. I'm not making any money right now. But it's all good. I want to give back. I want to help out. I appreciate what Dave built. And as you guys heard Eric talk about, there's nothing else out there, maybe 1 or 2 out of the 50 that he got. I was the same way. I found Dave years ago. Didn't know how good it was until I learned more and came back, and the rest is history. And I just came back and I want to help out. So this is me paying it back for him helping out. So we'll probably wrap shortly unless you guys got anything else. I don't think I missed any questions. Let me look at the chat quick. Stops 10-minute. Tools getting better. More refined and making better. Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Thank you. Doing what we can. All right, you guys have a great weekend. You heard Dave's going to be doing a little bit of traveling. So if you got any questions, and Kevin, if you're listening, I know I didn't show your one stuff, the swing oscillator or the signal. So I will definitely, maybe I'll make just a little short video and put that up as well. So throw your questions in over the weekend if you got them, and we'll see what we can do. See if I can carry the load without Dave on Tuesday. If he is out and about, he's the master. I'll do what I can, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Greg. Thanks to Sham. Glenn, Mike, good to see y'all. Andre. Andrew, we'll be talking. Have a good day, bud. Bye-bye, guys.